All right, Shalom. We the Hebrew Israelites out here again to prophesy the downfall of America, uprising of Israel. We're going to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kadash, Barakte Yahweh, Barakte Yahweh Shai, Barakte Yahweh, Barakte Yahweh Shai. Double honors to apostles, elders, great millstone, much salutations to the brothers teaching the word. For the hopeful elect, you already know what's going down. World War III. Russia and U.S. is getting into it with Iran and so forth with Iran, Russia back in Iran, and things are just unfolding, man. That's it. We at the end of this thing, so that's why we always say we coming out to prophesy the downfall of America. America is that wicked place called Babylon. Got many references: Sodom, Egypt, you name it. We're at the last leg of this place. This is basically the Roman Catholic Church or the Roman Empire coming back again, as well as all those other things. The daughter of the Chaldeans, daughter of Babylon. The harlot that rides upon the beast.
Babylon the Great.
Babylon the Great.
Unwalled villages.
Unwalled. Yeah.
It's never been touched, but it's about to get touched.
It's about to get touched, man, and harshly, man. Harshly. These people are under hypnosis of the government, hypnosis of the American bubble, which they call liberty and justice for all, but it's just the opposite. And especially these other nations, they haven't been seeing it because they are confederacy with this, with the Edomites, confederacy with the system, And all they want to do is live out their dream and all that, but we see things differently, especially in the spirit, man. I mean, our people are suffering, but the Most High brings you into the spirit and knowledge of the understanding of this Bible through the apostles, elders on down. It's a whole different picture, man. We're living in the matrix. So we're going to get that first scripture, Ecclesiastes 3 and 8, man. Because this is a time of war. This war is not going to go away. It's going to escalate, and it's going to go into prophecy. And pretty soon it's going to be the end of the world, man. End of the world of America, and the rule of this kingdom. Ours coming into play. No, Ecclesiastes. Time, everything. You start at 1 actually, and then jump to 8. So we can read about these in the scriptures. So-called white man hid it from us, set up a church system by the 501c3 charter. And actually took the Apocrypha out, which means Apocrypha means hidden away, and made a slave Bible. So now, Most High brought us back to the truth, through the Spirit. Like I said, through our elders and so forth, elders and apostles and so forth. And now we're here. And now it's a whole problem, a whole new problem, man. Go ahead.
So Ecclesiastes 3:1.
Go ahead.
To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Every time there's a season and a purpose under the heavens, man. It was a time for Rome to fall, the Greek Empire to fall, back in the Babylonian Empire to fall, the Tower of Babel. And this time is the time the prophecy to come about this place. Go ahead.
Time to be born and time to die.
Time to be born, time to die. And this happens to everybody, man. Go ahead. But it's timed out. Most High got it timed out where everybody goes through these effects. Go ahead.
A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
A time to plant and time. And so this world has been turned upside down. So a lot of the things that we had missed in these scriptures, and a lot of when it wasn't time for certain things, now it is time for certain things. It talks about the seals being open, the vision, so to speak. Most High closed the understanding of the Bible for a time. He sealed up the words, sealed up the book, and now it's speaking. Now is the time for prophecies to come to pass and other things to come and pass. Go ahead.
A time to kill and a time to heal.
A time to kill and a time to heal. We know it ain't really time to kill, but through the Spirit, we are manifesting that through taking down America through this book, through righteousness. And go ahead.
Time to break down and time to build up.
Time to break down, time to build up. And basically you can apply this to your life to build that inner man. You break down your old man, you build up your new. and so forth. But it's a prophecy about things happening with other nations and other people and things in this earth, man. Go ahead.
We drop down to 8.
Yep. Go down to 8.
Dropping down to verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
A time to love and a time to hate. We're in a time of hate. I mean, people are hating each other. The Russians hate America. These other nations hate America. We hate Edom. Edom hates us. You know, these nations hate us. We hated by all men. We're in a time of hate.
You see the rise in hate crimes.
The rise in hate crimes.
Militia groups are larger than ever now.
Yep. They just don't show it because they want to paint America a peachy color, man. With strawberry roses and shit, you know. And they, you know, they don't publicize the World War III just around the clock on the news, you know, because they want people to feel comfort, you know. But it is a time of war, and I was going to say that. Go ahead.
A time to love and a time to hate.
Time to love and time to hate. Go ahead.
A time of war and a time of peace.
Time of war and a time of peace. This is not a time of peace. Even if you try to be peaceful, this is not a time of peace, man, because everybody's getting roused up. Most High is rousing spirits up, man. Hell, the beast is not. They awake. They doing things in the earth, you know, attacking people, and you know, there's a lot of things going on. So it's not a time of peace, and you can't really have peace unless you get, you know, everything upright for it to be peace. All these things are causing war because men ain't right on the earth. There's always going to be a struggle or a war for power, you know, long as the righteous is not set up, long as it's not a definite, infinite power structure to rule forever. And that's where our kingdom is coming into play. But for now, while he's ruling, there is war, man, you know.
Watch the news lately, they've been bringing out, you know, the war with Iraq and what's going on. And now they're trying to say that it's dying down. You know, trying to pull the cover over the people again, man. Mainstream media. That's not true. We're in that time of war, man. World War III is building up.
Yep. And even though, and it's always been like that, you know, riots over there and breaking down an economy and cannibalism. America just been covering it up. But now it's at the boiling point to where they have nuclear capability to reach over here in America. So now that Americans really have to get involved, you know, and really deal with Russia and Iran, really deal with North Korea. They're pretty much enemies. Come at the power seat or table, whatever they call it. You know, all them sanctions are, man, that ain't nothing, man. Those are false. You know, how you gonna put sanctions over somebody that got same nuclear capability as you do, man? So these are lies that they spewing over here in America, you know. Isaiah 9 and 5. Because this is when this book speaks, it speaks according to this time too. This, you know, we're reading from the Old Testament, but it still applies because the same thing is still going on. If this book wasn't relevant, this whole world would be upright. It wouldn't be needed to even read out of this book, so to speak. You know, it'll be, you know, everybody be right, everybody live under the righteous. There'll be no more wars there. When the righteous and the authority people rejoice, it wouldn't be hate. You know, there'll be servitude to righteous men, and they'll rule righteously, and all the things will be taken care of. But, you know, it's not. So these scriptures still apply, man. Because it's the same thing going on, man. And it's going to read it. Go ahead.
Isaiah 9 and 5. For every battle warrior is with confused noise.
Yeah, because if you like them movies 300 and all those ancient type of movies, you see them with buckler and shield and arrows, blood and rolled in their garments. Braveheart.
Mass amount of men just come together, fight, kill each other, stab each other up. They all yelling, screaming, dying. That's confused noise.
Yeah. The shields clashing against the Clash of the Titans, and you know, all those warrior movies, man. Go ahead.
And garments rolled in blood.
See, garments rolled in blood, man. You know, go ahead.
But this shall be the burning and fuel of fire.
But this war should be the burning and the fuel of fire, man. Yeah. That hasn't come yet. It's not talking about no machine gun that showed the sparks coming out of it, man. It says this one shall be with fire and what did it say?
Burning and fuel of fire.
And fuel of fire, man. That's what they had that uranium for, to save up for nuclear, you know, capability, man. And they got it.
Yeah.
So now we at the brink of a World War III, and they got nuclear capability. That says, and the prophecy that we're reading about says it's going to be done by fire. You know.
I believe that is true, actually.
Go ahead.
For unto us a child is born.
Oh, okay, that's it. But that's what the battle is now at, and it's the battle of Armageddon, Pt.1. They've been talking about this for years. I mean, even when they used to fight the Arabs over there, and they used to infiltrate Baghdad, and even back then in Iraq, when Bush was in office or something like that, they used to say the holy war. You know, this might be the biggest. This might be the war of all wars, the holy war. They call it, and you know, them Arabs, they lose jihad or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, which is the struggle for I forget the wording of that, the definition of the wording, but it's a struggle for their holy rights, so to speak. So they always called it a possible holy war, you know. So they are always talking about the Armageddon. Now it's coming to the point to where it's different nations involved, different factors involved. It's allies joining together over there than America. America's skirt is being lifted at the same time through the prophecy, and everybody's seeing this devil for who he is. They getting fed up, man. They're getting tired of this place, man.
Back then, when George W. Bush in his war with Iraq, it wasn't the time yet for the Holy War, for War of Armageddon.
Yeah.
Because the elect hadn't been sealed at that time.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Bay of Pigs. Back then, with John F. Kennedy, the president,
Right.
they actually had nuclear weapons pointed at America. Like, was it, what they call it, Cold War?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that time yet because the elect hasn't been woken up. But now we see the prophecies coming to pass, and earthquakes in diverse places.
Yep.
Puerto Rico just got hit again with an earthquake.
Yep,
You know?
yep.
All these prophecies are all lining up at the same time.
And back-to-back earthquakes.
Back, yeah,
You know?
yeah. So that tells us, gives us an indicator that, we're close.
Yep.
That, the elect's probably been sealed or close to being sealed.
Yep.
And the angels, Most High is going to give that order for the angels to let loose, that destruction.
Let havoc, reap havoc. And like the brother said, he mentioned Bush about the Iraq. Remember his father Bush came in years later to try to kind of clean up the unfinished business with Iraq. But now what is happening now? They in confrontation with Iraq again, man. And then Russia's involved this time, and then other certain nations and allies and background that's dealing with, in the background, they're coming forth. Like we said, India, North Korea, South Korea, and North Korea might come together, So all these things are changing, man. Everything is not like that old thing that people used to believe in. Yeah, we'll just fight a war and our troops will be home early. It's just a ground war. It's not really airstrikes and all that. It's not really heavy artillery or military force needed. No, all that's going to be needed and fought with.
Yeah.
And the draft is coming. So that's what America's used to. They used to America so-called bouncing back, and then, and then another 10 to 20 years, maybe another war or a small war or something like that. But it's not going to happen because America's not living right. America's not truthfully dealing with nations, And people got interest in America. I mean, China, America's in debt with China, man. Everything's made in China over here, man. So it ain't like they got to answer the door when China knocked on the door. Like, hey, America's in debt $24 million or something like that. 20 trillion. It's like, that's what, yeah. Big clay, man. In debt. So, and then you got to worry about civil war. That's still on the brink. The purge and all that.
Nations shall rise up against nations.
Yeah, nation against nation, neighbor against neighbor, people against people. People are not really happy here, man. And then you know, they get a little bit of comfort on the weekend, so to speak, and they have that routine. But if something messes that up to where they can't have that, you know, such as draft and all that, and to where they got to constantly worry about their sons, and their sons are not coming home because the war has escalated, they're going to trip out. They're going to bug out, man, and even lose a lot of their sons, because America has become so sentimental, man. It's been a long time since, when was the last war? It's been a long time, over 20 years, over probably 30 years, I guess, you know, since the last war. So, you know, Americans didn't got comfortable, man. You know, all that invasion of certain countries, it wasn't really groundbreaking war. You know, World War II, that was back in the 30s, 40s, you know. So it's not been a world war since a long time, man. So now this world war, people are really gonna get bothered because they've been comfortable so long.
It says it's gonna be the war to end all wars, man.
Yeah, the war to end all wars, man. Talks about the third war in the scriptures, man.
What's coming up has never been seen on earth ever.
Yeah. And you can see it, man. You can see it because it's a lot more people here, a lot more people oppressed. You know, a lot of people are finding out about how America is really doing and their dealings, and how unfair, and how, you know, nobody really got rights. You know, this is not the beautiful land that they painted to be.
The streets weren't paved with gold.
The streets are not paved with gold.
They told them.
Yeah,
like they told them.
they come, they finding out their heartfelt celebrities that they love are falling and getting sacrificed. And on drugs and shit. So it's all going to hell, man. I mean, you know, like we always make a point of this Broadway should be filled with people clapping their hands and confetti and everything. It's just dead out here, man. You know, just people walking around drinking on a Friday, Saturday night because they can't face their problems. Rent is too high, lost their wife, their girlfriend, she's a lesbian, you know. Their homeboy comes sodomite, you know.
Yeah, Christmas, New Year's.
Christmas.
By the spirit of that which is gone.
Yeah.
Spending New Year's by themselves.
Yep. Santa can't deliver. You know, their New Year's resolution is just a dream and fluff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, our people, you know, like these women, they go into these strip clubs. I mean, it seems like that's the only job for our women left, nursing and stripping and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Nursing and stripping, yep.
Yeah, and it's like, y'all thinking that's going to last forever? You know? And then they'll brag all the time, get the bag. You know, a bag full of $1 bills, man. It's not even like they're, you know, they so-called make good money, but that money ain't nothing, man. Yeah. So our people are going to get a rude awakening along with this system when it breaks down, man. Because money can't save you. Money can't buy you anything when all the banking system is broken down. I mean, you know, try to go into the store to buy bread. They need that bread for themselves. They can't sell that bread to you. You know, and it's funny how they use the term money as bread. You know, money as substance for this or money as substitute for that. Well, it ain't. People are going to need everything they can get.
They're going to burn their money.
Yeah.
They're going to burn it to stay warm.
Yeah, they're going to burn their money to stay warm, you know. They might have to wipe their ass with the money.
Yeah, like they did with the Deutschmarks up there in Germany. That economy collapsed back then.
Yeah, and hell, they might even try to eat it. You know, there's a point in the scripture they were eating shoes and all that.
Other straps. And their kids.
Yeah, and their kids also, man.
So to cannibalism in the last days.
Yeah, going back to cannibalism. See, that's unheard of in America, man. But really, they have been committing a low level of cannibalism because they putting human carnage in the meat. Yeah. If you believe it or not, they doing that, man. So people are already getting used to the taste and the just the, you know, the smell of human meat, man.
Yeah, they sacrifice the children and they send the kids to a Burger King.
Yep.
Exactly. Green.
Yeah.
Eat that up.
Yeah. God. It's called what?
Soylent Green.
Soylent Green, man. You know? So the Happy Meals ain't really to keep your children happy. You know, that's to lure your kids in to get sacrificed. You know? Along with all these, you know, Disney World, that's another kid land that lure kids in for sacrifice and pedophilia, man. So when the griminess and all the ghoulish things get exposed in this America, because everybody's trying to keep it, sweep it under the rug or make it a theory type of thing, but they're gonna really find out these things are true, man. You could look on YouTube, like we always say, and the Bohemian Grove will pop up, and they sacrificing children live right in front of your face, man.
Yeah, they don't even try to hide it anymore.
They don't even try to hide it.
Put it in the movies, they put it in TV shows.
Movies, like Netflix, they got thousands and thousands of horror flicks, man. And these are grimy, just, you know, it's like those Exorcist movies. They got thousands of those because that's who they really are. That's how they practice their witchcraft. They do it through movies. They do it in secret societies, the Boule, Illuminati and all that, the Bohemian Grove and all that, Skull and Bones. But now, like the brother said, they don't care.
Yeah, even on network television, there's one show called American Horror Story.
Yep.
I was watching this one episode where they actually showed them kidnapping a woman and actually sacrificing her to sing.
Yeah, come on.
Put her on the table. It's one of the recent ones. And they sacrificed her.
Yes.
They straight up showed you.
God, bro. Yeah, we ain't had so many celebrities that died within this decade, within a 20-year span, even a decade span. And the whole world, man. I mean, who would have thought Michael Jackson would die, and Prince would die?
Right. Yeah, Prince. Yeah.
Prince would die. Close, not even far away from each other's, you know, the date of their deaths, man. Like, you think Michael Jackson would be? He was protected. He was, you know, everybody loved him.
Yeah,
Whitney Houston.
Her daughter, and now her daughter's husband, boyfriend just dropped dead.
Her daughter's boyfriend. And these are prominent stars, like these are big stars, man. You know, Bernie Mac and, you know, a lot of these big comedians, man. Eddie Murphy's brother. I mean, even though he was in shadow, so to speak, but it's big news because he's Eddie Murphy's brother.
Now all of a sudden Eddie Murphy's back in the limelight.
Yeah, he's back in the limelight. Did one of the biggest Netflix movies, Dolomite. You know,
went back to Saturday Night Live. That was a big deal. They kept talking about it on the networks, all the news stations. Yeah. Now they're saying he's going back on tour. So he probably was responsible for his brother's death. Yeah,
and that's just got to be said. Like, that's just the real of how horrifying this life is. That all these people that we live amongst, man. You can't really get to know nobody that's going to be in the industry. They'll end up sacrificing your ass, man, before you even get there, man. You know? So these are the things that's going on. That's why this place is prepped for missiles. That's why this place that we know is the end of the world, man. Our people didn't used to do, even our people, how they're acting today in the society, didn't used to do this back in the 90s, in the 80s. They didn't used to make videos like weird ass videos, Illuminati driven and all that. There was nobody really dying back in the 90s and shit. I mean, that's when it started, like Tupac, Biggie, and, you know, Eazy and all those. But really nobody was, you know, it wasn't. It was only like they, you know, it was the beginning of their show, their agenda to, you know, kill us and just keep us in this warp of death, man. So America's reaping the same. Now the Most High got these nations looking at America for what she's known to be: a harlot, a murderer. She lures in, she seduces nations with her her lustful ways, man. That harlot that rides up on the beast. Go ahead. Philosophies, you know. Yeah, all these philosophies. Yeah, all these philosophies is based on money. Education system is based on money. Military is based on money. Nobody goes to the military so much as to be patriotic. They go because they need there's good benefits. Yeah. Paycheck. They get to travel with no cost. Get to meet, go to different places.
Different women, you know.
Different women.
Especially with Jake, you know.
Yeah,
Jake had heard that women across the seas
love
us and shit.
Yep.
You know?
So they're not thinking about, well, I'm going to go to war to really fight for this country. You know, they go into the military zone for different reasons. Same with church. To be blessed, to have that blessing of let the preacher tell you that how you can make more money, that you are blessed, that you'll do well in society. Same thing with school. You join college just to get a degree so you could won't have to so you could buy that house, buy that picket fence and that 3-car garage or whatever you want. So all this is based on corporation and money, and what the American system has done is dealt deceitfully with these nations concerning her agenda with this banking system, man. Because it's really not resourceful. It's really not based on real resources, like we always say. It's a digital-based system. How can you survive in a natural world with natural growth, doing digital, operating on digital by digital means, man? With robots and shit. Like, how's that gonna work with population if you want to marry a robot and shit, or you want to have Jake to have a job?
No jobs. You got robots.
Can't get a job. Yeah. And what's the labor worth of that, man?
Yeah, it's gonna destroy the economy. Right?
Yeah.
The rich are gonna benefit off it, but it's like that's how these devils. You know, you need an economy. You need people to work these jobs.
Yeah.
You can't just have a bunch of robots just doing everything.
Exactly. It's like if a robot makes it makes a cake and it just from scratch, and it starts to malfunction and nobody's in there to control the machine, it's gonna drop whatever, you know. It ain't gonna sift through and make sure that the cake is properly done right. Go back and redo it. It's gonna keep on making that same cake, that same mistake, and the package is gonna go out and it's gonna end up being poison to the world. Well, that's how America is dealing now. They're not really going through the natural resources, natural production of things for everything to go right. So now they have this GMO, you know, system. Not following the script. That's right. Not following the script. It's a land Sabbath. It's a law to treat to tell you how to treat your neighbors, even if your neighbors are strangers. Most High let us know how to deal with the strangers in the land. You know what I'm saying? That we dealt with the Egyptians and all that, and Syrians, and we had to, you know, deal with these nations. Even though we're the cream of the crop, the Most High loves us and we're His children. He tells us how to deal with these people, man. But not America. America's become greedy. It's all mine, going for the gold, and they'll kill anybody in the way of it, man. So that's why 2 Peter 3:10, if you can get it, shot, that this place is destined for that judgment, man. That the outcome is the judgment, because if it was doing right, it says in the scriptures, if the wicked turn back from their wicked way, restore the plague, you know, they wouldn't have these things coming to them, man. But this is the Most High's movie in operation, so He wants to show a different side for us to know His power, man. Go ahead.
So 2 Peter 3:10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
It will come as a thief in the night, which nobody is going to be ready for. That's why it says as a thief in the night. So everybody's going to get caught off guard, even with this war. Even when this system breaks down, they're going to be caught off guard, man. When there's no money, they wake up, no money in the bank. You know, trying to do that last bank run, and they can't get no money out the bank. And then they got to, you know, figure out how they're going to get their next set of groceries, man. And it's not going to come. They're going to end up stealing from their neighbor, having to kill their neighbor. They didn't even have that in mind until it happened. So, you know, at the time of their adversity, they didn't know. Is it going to be a thief as a thief in the night? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's going to be a thief in the night because people are eating, drinking, and giving it a marriage.
Yep.
You know, they're not paying attention to the prophecies.
Yep.
They're not paying attention to the prophets around the streets.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, they take us as a joke.
You know, they just want to keep living their lives, partying, giving it a marriage. You know, that's how the day of the Lord is going to come. It's a thief to them because they're not paying attention. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise.
Yep.
And the elements shall pass, and elements shall melt with fervent heat.
The elements shall melt with fervent heat, man. All these things are going to be burnt up. That's why it says put your treasure in heaven, you know. Put your mind, your thoughts, and your treasures in heaven. Store up treasures in heaven. That's where your true riches. But on this place, everything's going to be burnt up, from your bikes to your cars to your houses to the trees to the buildings. Like who was asking that? Lord, are you mad at the sea or mad at the, you know, the trees? You know, people are gonna know how dreadful the Most High is, man. How His judgment sets and is horrific, man. Go ahead.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Yep.
The earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
The works therein, all the things that men built on the earth, man, and they take it with great pride, man. It's gonna be burnt up, man. Everybody worrying about, you know, how nice their car look, you know. It ain't wrong to appreciate things, you know, but they put their heart and soul into it, man.
Yeah.
You know, our people, they really floss that money in the music industry, man.
Yeah, money is their God.
Yeah, money is their God. Car is their God.
Women is their God.
Women, you know, women ain't gonna be around, walking around, man. They're gonna be burnt up along with everybody else. You know, ain't nobody's gonna be standing around the debunk or debate about anything. They're gonna be dust on the ground, soil. What do you say? The replenish the earth, fertilizer. You know, it says in the scriptures, "Dust from dust thou come, dust shalt thou go." Man.
You know? Yeah, you know, the tongue is going to consume away in the mouth.
Yep.
The eyes are going to melt away.
Yeah, man. That's a terrible death, man. And then you know, famine, like we said, along with those other things, famine. You know, concentration camps, tortured, teeth of wild beasts, man. That's dreadful, man. You know, it's you know, Esau always had these friendly beasts, trained beasts on video. How they live with tigers and how they lay down with cheetahs and all that, and raise them since their birth. Well, them cheetahs are gonna trip out on your ass. They're gonna cheat you.
Their nature.
Yeah.
Gonna put that true nature in them.
Yeah.
They're gonna turn on them.
Yeah, man.
You see that now. Every now and then, you know, when circus trainers get mauled to death, you know, lion will just flip out on them.
Yeah.
Elephant will stomp on them.
Mm-hmm. Most High gonna put that spirit back on them, man. And you think human beings are so-called stable, or people are stable, and they could be social. What about the animals when they need something to eat? When it's food, when there's no food around them, you know, they're gonna be eaten up. They're not even gonna have a second thought like, oh, they're human. Nah, they meat eaters anyway. You know, carnivores anyway, so to speak. Jeremiah 28:8. So